It's recording.
All right.
Let me get in.
Let's do free for all.
Wait a minute.
You need some
The sick and shut has attitude.
Right. So we can't play no Easter.
Get close. I don't want to push the thing on this floor.
That's what I'm trying to do.
All right. You ready, ladies? All right.
I guess.
What's going on, crew? It's the GLC here with another episode of Girlfriend Conversation. We have my girl Corinda,
Hey.
my girl Matu,
Hello.
and Aja, who I am. Some of the members weren't able to make it today, so we're just gonna go ahead and keep it moving
They had
and
a
keep
little bit
them
too
out.
much fun at the Christmas party.
Yeah, Corinda. Yeah, we did. We had a lot of fun at our Christmas party, and we know you all saw the live video, so just know that when the cameras went off,
It went down.
it went all the way down. But anyhow, so today we just kind of just shoot the shit, just talk about how things been going. 2020 has been a year to remember. A year to remember. Anything special?
Okay, so we can do a quick icebreaker.
Cool.
Since we're going to be going into the new year. So for this year, did you all do you ever make resolutions? And if you do, how well did you follow them this year?
I don't make no resolution.
You know what? I didn't make one for this. I didn't make one in 2019 for 2020. Normally I do, and it's always the usual, trying to eat healthy, lose weight, and keep it off. But probably by February the 2nd, I quit. Just being honest.
So I actually did one. I wrote about 10 things. COVID stopped a lot of it, but I had stuff like I was supposed to read a book every month, so I had to read like 12 books by the year.
How many you doing? How many?
I read a half of one.
A half?
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
I forgot, but
Damn.
it was a book I saw on Facebook. It's kind of like relationship stuff.
You should really read relationship goals by, what is his name? Michael Todd. That's pretty good.
Okay, well, you can give me some more recommendations because I do need to
Because I
read
read.
books. What else? I wanted to save on a certain amount of money. I did that. I always do like the little health stuff, trying to eat better.
She's so financially responsible.
I eat a little. It's like on and off, so.
Yeah, I don't like when she be making those resolutions about eating. Because I be like, Corinna, let's go. What time you trying to go? 6 o'clock?
Because
No,
I was
I'm not
like
eating
intermittent
anymore.
fasting, so it was like a certain time that I couldn't eat. And she just
Well, you
wanted.
didn't ask your food.
You
but
see how your friends support you?
I'm just saying.
I'm
They know
listening.
I like going out to eat.
And I was trying to better my health.
You could have got a salad.
But I didn't want to eat after that.
Yeah,
I
but
can't eat anything.
then another time she had been and went to what's that seafood place you be going up to?
Sometimes you have moments.
And then don't never be able to be right. Or I'm like, Corinna, what you cook?
But I don't
just
need you
fried
to
some
try to
fish
help
and some baked beans.
It's not
and
that I
slaw.
couldn't eat that stuff. I wasn't eating after a certain time.
Well, I don't get off until 5:30.
Well, I can't eat after 6.
Whatever.
So that was something. Like getting out of my shell. So doing the podcast, that was what?
Can you repeat that, Ramona? You asked what?
What shell?
I am. Well, it wasn't so much like getting out of my shell. It was. It's on my refrigerator actually, but
Well, just stepping out of your comfort
yeah,
zone.
that's what it was. Thank
As
you.
far as what? Again?
Like this is stepping out of my comfort zone.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't like to talk like that.
I mean, I guess it makes sense.
If I guess if I like get to know you, or it just depends on who I'm around. Cause like y'all might say something different from like people in my own family. Like they be like, "Oh, she talks like that," or "She be talking that much."
Cause we know you.
And my sister be like, "Y'all just don't know her."
True.
But it just depends on who it is. But those were some things. I'm gonna try to do better next year, though.
I think anything you do next year will be better than this year.
I usually don't make resolutions. We all know I'm not about to do no eat healthy diet, whatever. That's not my thing. The food for grows, it just grows. But I can't say I am proud of myself. I was more financially responsible this year. Like, I held on to a lot of money. Like, I banked it. And
yeah, she didn't give us a Michael Kors' Christmas. So she did pretty really feel. I'm just playing.
Nah, but like, yeah, those who know me, like, they know I like to. I mean, I still, did my fair share of shopping, but I just promised that I had a goal set that I don't want my account to get below this amount, and it did, and that was pretty good for me. Next year, going into 40 into 2021, I do have things that I want to accomplish, so I will be setting goals. I have long-term goals and short-term goals. I just feel like it's time to, I don't know. I just feel something different in my spirit.
Do you want to share some of those goals?
I don't know if I want to share them. I really haven't spoken them out loud yet. Y'all know me, so I sit up at night and my mind races a lot, and I just have things. There are some personal goals. I do want to purchase a home, a house. I do want to begin to identify my purpose and my identity, and use my gifts and not necessarily just take them for granted. So I do want to begin to build on that, and that might not happen by the end of 2021, but I at least want to start getting the ball in motion. Yeah.
Cool beans.
Yeah.
See, I think for me, my next step is, I'm focusing on, of course, trying to retire early. So my goal is before
that's 16 more
I'm
years.
like 40. They won't let me out before 50, but if I get enough time in, I might be able to escape right before 50. So that's my goal. But before I even get to that point, I've been told that public speaking is my thing. So I'm really thinking of everybody. So, Corona, not today. I'm having a good day. And not on the shortest day of the year. Don't do it. But I've been told that, like, that's my thing. Like, I really like people to know what they need to know. If it's something that I know and I know it's factual, I like to share. And even though sometimes it might not be about something in particular of their facts, but if I'm just really passionate about something, then I like to share what it is that I know or what it is that I feel. So I'm thinking that prior to us even coming together to do a podcast, it was something that bounced around in my mind, but I just never act on it, which is something I tend to do. I have a lot of things going on in my head that I want to do, and I'll think about it. I might start it, but then I never finish it. Like, that's my biggest thing. I know about myself is that I'll have the tendency to start projects and then I walk away. It's like I can multitask, but not when it comes to something that I need to do, like a thought process. I can't. If I walk away, or if I don't finish it at that moment, I may not ever get back to it. But I do think that I want to figure out something where I can put myself in a position to be able to speak to small groups, be it teenagers or just adults or anything like that.
That's your niche. I can't tell you what you should do, but we've talked, and you do have that relatability when it comes to our adolescents and our youth. And I think, like, we talked about this for years, like you developing not a group home, but like a teen center, some places they can come retreat to, because we know now in society our teenagers and young children don't have anything to do, and you wonder why they're out in the streets. Well, you've taken all their extracurricular activities away from them, and they don't have like a safe space or what have you. But I think that would be good, because I tell y'all, when I be with that Ramaya Jalay, I love her to death, but sometimes she take me there, and AJ is my savior. AJ like, I have to come get my baby, and she talked to her and stuff like that. But I think that's.
Well, AJ, is there certain stuff that you would like to talk about to teenagers or just children in period, I guess?
I think my thing is that I want the kids to understand that we recognize that it's different. And I know sometimes adults have the tendency to be like, oh well, when I was young, we didn't do this, or you couldn't grow up with my mom, my dad, because you know you wouldn't do this. But the world that we living in now, it's not even like it was when we were growing up. You know, you have kids who parents have, you know, 2 and 3 kids, and it ain't necessarily that they deem you to be the babysitter, but you're the only parent that's working. So if that means I have to work these 2, 3 jobs to make sure that you have, then that's a sacrifice that I have to make. So some of these kids are growing up being second parents or having to carry more responsibility than you would think a normal 10-year-old would have or 8-year-old would have. And I think sometimes things like that go unnoticed or are taken for granted. And I just want them to be able to have a safe space to, if things they want to talk about, they can, and not feel like, well, if I say this on the door, I'm being disrespectful. Or if I say this, you're not going to listen anyway because I'm a kid. So it's like I just want to be able to have outlets to where you can get your frustrations out, be it through art, music, or any type of club or interest that you have, just to have that space to be able to do it and know that you can feel safe. Because not everybody feels safe with speaking in school, you know, to a counselor or to whomever it may be, because we've been taught your business is your business and you keep it at home. So I just want to be able to provide that space that you know that we can have that conversation, and then we can bring your family in, and it's not always going to lead to a DSS case or something like that. So I just want to be available.
That's cool.
That's what I want to do.
That's cool.
So 2020. Last year this time, according to my Facebook memory, we were at the Hornets game.
We were.
My cousins and I had a ugly Christmas sweater party. And a year later, we are in-house with curfews and wearing masks. All in 365 days.
We were talking about what the podcast around this time last year.
We were talking about it then. It's been almost a year. It's like in a year. And I think that's another thing I kind of really recognized during this time is that a year really isn't that long.
No.
It's really not that long, because just saying that out loud, it feels like it was just yesterday. And it's really been a year ago. And so many things have transpired during that time. Like I said, we went from knowing there was something cross seas that was taking people out, you know, here and there, to
me getting it.
Yeah, I swear, y'all, listen. Last year at this time, I'm telling you, I don't know, they kept telling me, oh, it's just a virus. It's got to take its course. I was like, well, it's going to kill me in the process, like I was dying. And they was like, oh, we can't give you nothing. And literally like 24 hours later, I go back to the doctor. Oh, you got a double ear infection and a sinus infection. Well, I told you the other day I was dying. You want to listen to me.
They didn't know what the diagnosis.
And I don't think they knew what it was, because even with me taking the antibiotics, it felt like that wasn't working. It just took a long time. Like, I know, I swear to God, I feel like I was sick for 14 days.
Yeah, I was sick. I got sick twice.
It did not feel good. That was a different kind of sick.
It was. That thing had me down.
Yeah, it was. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't breathe.
I don't know. I wasn't that sick.
Girl, no. When I tell you I was dying, and I tried to go to work, and I don't want to take off work.
She should.
So
Asia probably got enough sick for the rest of the next 10 years.
I really do. I could probably take off for 4 years. Like, real talk, I probably could. But I got up there morning, I got to work, and I was like, you know what? You win. I was like, okay, I'm going to the doctor today, because it was, I couldn't, my body, it just, Listen, I don't wish that on nobody. Anybody who's had COVID or whatever, my heart is out there with you. Y'all people, listen. I don't know what it was that I had, but what it was, if COVID is anything like that, listen, it was not a joke.
And speaking on COVID, they talking about at my job within the last week. I know they gave like almost 7 to 10 people got it. I said, I might have to see y'all the new year.
You might take some time.
Like, yeah, within the week, they don't, gave us like 7, we might do like 7 to 10 people. It seems like it's a new case every day.
I mean, my thing about the whole thing, you know, they know that I think that everything is a borderline damn COE conspiracy or whatever, but I don't want to make light of it either, you know, just because I might think it's man-made, what have you. You know, I was really into it when it first came out, but, you know, I'll just follow what, you know, is recommended as far as, you know, wearing your mask and doing the hand washing thing or what have you. But for people to, at this point, knowing, what is it, about like 600,000 deaths, you know, across the country, like, for you not to take it serious, regardless if you believe in it or not. You know what I mean? Regardless if you're gonna take the vaccine or not. Like, but just protect. Well, I'm not damn taking no damn.
So y'all read about the man, because Kel brought it to my attention about the man that was on the plane, knew he had COVID, got on the plane took off, and he died in the air.
Okay, well,
I heard that.
Yeah, but you had COVID, so I guess before you get on there, you have your series of questions. So you lied. So now
you infected other people. That's what I'm saying. The ignorance of it. Like, if you don't believe it, that's fine, and govern yourself accordingly. Stay in your own little box and do what you want to do with all the dumbass, like-minded people like you. That's fine. But then when you begin to be out there in the world and co-mingle with other people, at that time you don't get to put my life in danger or anybody else around at risk. That's the ignorance of it that just irritates me. Like, when we went to the mall, and we're just walking in the mall through the food court, and it's nasty as
listen, people. Oh my God!
Like,
and I mean, Corinda, I swear to God, like I blanked for a second because people were eating.
People were eating. You didn't have a mask on.
What?
No, he did not have. He didn't cover. He just straight out. Me and my two stopped messed up. I was like, dear God, and I had to go. Because that's already a pet peeve of mine before COVID. Blowing your nose and coughing like I can't deal. But in my mind, I'm thinking, you just let all your insides out on these people's food. And you didn't have no apologies. Like, I wanted to push him.
Yeah, but I couldn't fight. He was old enough
to know better.
I couldn't fight. I had a cripple.
I didn't care. I had to get out of there.
Was anybody else looking at him crazy?
Yeah.
And then it was loud, so everybody stopping, and I'm telling you, and I was like, Macho, can we go? Can we get out of here?
We did.
Damn. Because I was like, I've had my share of people today. I gotta go. And that's where I'm at with it. It's just the nerve. I don't care what you believe. That's your business. But when you come out with other people,
that goes back to that entitlement, and you know how deep that shit runs.
You know what I'm saying? When you come out, it's a different story. And that's why I don't want to wear this in the store. But you have choices. You don't have to go into anywhere that you don't want to go. But if their rules are stating what it is, then that's what it is. You can, and like Target kindly tells you, you can order online. You don't have to come in here.
Curbside pickup.
They do. You know what I'm saying? So you have alternatives, but it goes back to that entitlement. You don't tell me, so I'm going to do what I want to do. And you can do what you want to do, but when you're doing what you want to do can affect me, it's an issue.
I think these people should be faced with fines.
That's what I said. That's my opinion.
Because if I'm a bartender or if I'm a bar and I stay open past, the government's going to slap me with a fine.
But y'all heard about them 2 sports bars right now.
I try not to listen because I get irritated when I listen to the news.
They've been having no social distancing. The bartenders not wearing masks. Overcrowding.
In Charlotte?
Yes.
What bar?
Oh, God, I have to show it to you. I forgot the name of it. But it was 2 of them. And they got...
like a sports bar.
Mm-hmm, they got called, and then all of a sudden their social media pages, they done disabled them. People been calling them. I guess people been complaining because you can file complaints. My thing is, I get it. You need to make your money. I understand it's been a hard time.
Nobody told you that you couldn't make your money. Just put the damn mask on.
They said the bartender. So I'm thinking, okay, it's one thing for you to allow people to come in, but this is your job. I don't want to wear my mask at work all day. You know what I'm saying? So when I get a chance to get in my office, I'll take it off. But when I'm in those hallways, it doesn't matter. I'm around other people. I'm around children. I'm around older adults. I'm around people, period. So that means I need to protect myself as well as others.
That's cool. Outside of the virus itself, what has 2020 opened your eyes to?
People and their antics.
Yeah, y'all go ahead. I got a lot to say.
People and their antics. I realized that colorism is real. Racism is not dead. And I wish people would quit saying that because it's not, it might not be what you read and learned about from back then, but it's still alive, visible today. And I'm not just talking about, necessarily the killing of, Black people or things like that, but just the treatment, the lack of treatment, should I say. You're still considered a second class, by this time, probably third class citizens. You still carry that mentality, like the nerve of you. Who are you? You still want to call people boy and girl. And you probably do it in your head all the time, but it comes across in the things that you do. No, everybody doesn't, and I understand that everybody may not be, but it doesn't take away the fact that it's still around and it's still present and still have relevance to this day.
And what was your initial question?
What has 2020 outside of COVID just like shown you? What has it done for you?
Well, a lot of people didn't like staying in the house, but I was cool with that because I'm already a homebody.
Sound like him.
I still had to work.
Out here running these streets, so.
Huh?
Don't act like it was a time we wasn't out here running these streets.
Well, I had quit running the streets like that for a while. Yeah, especially you had me beat.
Who had you out here in these streets?
Ramati. Because I wasn't really going out that much.
Until when? What changed that perspective for you?
I got into a hellacious relationship.
I do miss traveling though. But I'm just thinking about like things that we did together this year. Like we protested. I'm like, God, this already happened.
We went to
went to the George Floyd
we did.
funeral. Well, some bike gangs tried to run us over. Just kidding, but it was a whole bunch of.
They was.
If you got in the way, you might have got ran over.
might have,
for real.
too, right.
While I'm playing.
It was a lot, but that right there, that experience was.
Oh, that was
beautiful. It was
touching.
peaceful. It was very mild mannered. It was just. It was beautiful.
That was beautiful. That was worth that turnaround trip. That was a very beautiful experience that I look forward to sharing that with my friends.
I guess another thing that comes to mind is the election. So Trump had to lose twice because he wanted to recount. But I'm glad it's over with. Just say your prayers because it don't really matter who in office sometimes. Look out for you.
I don't know. For me, outside of those things, and some of those things are things I can't control, but what it did for me, it showed me who was for me. And I'm not going to say who was against me, but it really showed me individuals that I devoted my time, my space, my energy in. You know, when you begin to be on lockdown, you're not as easily as accessible to people as you once were. And I said it today on Facebook, you really have to be, mindful of what you pour out to people and then what they in turn pour into you, right? So my eyes were open to a lot of people that I said that I had love for, that I deemed to be very close to me. I travel true and tell it fast. I went through a little heartbreak, took me down for a little bit, you know what I mean? But at the end, I'm still grateful for
the experience.
I'm grateful for the experience because I'll never go through nothing and not learn from it. But I'm just grateful for the awareness that I have now. So I see you. You understand what I'm saying? So even in these moments, oh, where you been? Or, oh, I ain't heard from you. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm thinking, I'm processing, and I see you. And even in that moment, you're not picking up what I'm putting down, right? Because you would never really, you're just reaching out of routine. You know what I mean? It's not you know what I'm saying? So that's what 2020 really did for me, to know that who's there for you are always.
And I guess to kind of piggyback off of that, in my professional life, I learned through 2020 is that at the end of the day, your job is just that. It's your job. You're an employee. Employees come, employees go. Sometimes you have to put yourself and your situations first. You have to make those a priority. And like I said, for me personally, I always look at, I have a job to do. My job is what maintain my lifestyle. It's how I take care of my daughters, how I take care of me. Anyway. And I make sure that I'm there. That's why I've been there for so long, because I go to work. I do my job. I'm good at what I do. But during this, I learned that business is business. And they're not thinking about what you have going on the back end. They don't take in consideration that you're the only person that may be bringing in the income. They don't take into consideration that cutting your hours may really truly make or break what you do or don't do, or that you're taking care of your parents, or you have someone sick that lives with you. All they need to know is, where do you stand in this position? How are you going to benefit me? Are you able to work? Are you able to do the job that has been put out for you to do?
Sometimes those are hard decisions. I didn't have to make that decision. Thank God, like through the pandemic, I never suffered any, fallouts behind employment or anything.
I didn't per se. I just, had to do some moving and shifting. So I'm not complaining on that end because yes, I'm blessed.
But it was
to still
kind
be
of stressful
able.
at a moment.
It was stressful because it took so long to get the answer.
Yeah.
That's what the issue for me.
They didn't know what was going on themselves.
It's like, but you knew, but you didn't tell us until literally like, oh, you gotta go to work tomorrow. So 12 hours from now, I expect you to be at work. But that's where what do I do with my current situation that I've been dealing with, with what's going to happen with my kid? What do I do about what I already had planned because you took so long to give me what you need to give me? But yet and still, I still had to make sure that home was taken care of first. And I have friends and people that I know who quit jobs because they had to make a choice.
It was literally either my children or this job.
And they had to make choices.
And that's something that nobody should have to face.
That's crazy to me to even think that. Are you just gonna pull the rug from under somebody and not even think about what they're already going through, what they've been going through, but to put them in a situation to where you basically gotta sink or swim?
I mean, they can't. I don't think everybody could help that. All businesses could help that. What they could help is being more open and transparent with the lines of communication with their employees. Like you and I talked about that, and I just thought that was all the way effed up.
Yeah, there was some people where they literally I knew it was that simple. You coming or you not? It was to the point where, and I know some of y'all may have read it again. I'm not speaking from my personal experience, but I know people who literally it came down to the wire where I need you here.
And if they didn't come, they was fired.
Pretty much, you had a choice. Your choice is where you can go on this leave, where your pay will be 2/3 of what you were going to receive, or you can go on this leave and take 2 weeks in the hole and then get back. It was just any option that they gave you pretty much was going to keep you in the bond.
And then you got the government fighting over whether they want to financially help you or not. That shit.
Plus, from my understanding, I guess that's, what is it? They came to a semi-agreement, so what, they're supposed to be sending out, what, $600?
Yeah, I mean, that's, I don't know. I don't want to sound, I don't think it sounded ignorant, but I guess because I don't necessarily need it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not in that bond as to where my finances wasn't impacted on that degree. But I don't know. I just don't want us as Black people to just think that this is just, this free money and we're never going to hear of it ever
again. I would hope that wouldn't nobody think that, because
it's a lie.
Especially with any and everything that we do, is always like a deal with it later. It's going to come back in some form where you're responsible.
It's going to come back in the form of you're not going to get that big tax return because you getting all this free government money. Like 1 minute you getting $2,400, then you turn around and you get another $1,200, and now you get another $600. That's gonna put you in a different, especially if you on the poverty level. That's gonna put you in another tax bracket, right? And they not giving you this money just because. If that's the case, they'd have been giving out free money forever, right? It's going to come back some way, shape, or form. So I just want us as a community to spend that money wisely, save it, something.
And that's my thing. Save it. So if you can afford to save it.
You ain't got no job.
Save it. You know what I'm saying? And that's my thing. So, if you're in a situation to where you can afford to do so, then by all means, please, because I'm sure nobody thought that this was going to still be the situation now.
But you in the middle of a pandemic. You shouldn't be going to Walmart buying 55-inch TVs.
You're right. You shouldn't be.
That's no judgment if that's what you chose to do. But let's be more financially responsible, because at the end of the day, you can't depend on the government to take care of you and expect that this is not going to come back around.
All right, we're going to take a break, y'all. We'll pick back up in a sec. at your twins.
I really question why I hang out with y'all. Because like, y'all have been so mean to me. You didn't hear what I said? You started the other Friday when you was at my house, picking on me about being crippled and coming downstairs out of breath, and it has not let up. The only one who's really been an extra nice might have been Angel because she went to the mall with me.
Yeah.
Well, you could have went to the mall with me. You helped carry me. You did make me some pork chops. I don't know if you saw that this morning.
Don't make me some pork chops.
I knew that was coming next.
Heck yeah. Angel told me to ask you yesterday.
She says, I want to correct her make some
anyway.
pork chops. She's like, I
want
said, how you know she wanted to cook? She said, well, she said she had some pork chops that need to be cooked anyway. I was like, well, then ask her.
And I was like, no, we might have a greater chance of her saying yeah if you ask. And then time.
You see, that didn't matter because she said, I don't know what y'all eating, so it didn't really make a difference who asked. Didn't really make a difference who asked.
They were good and thick too.
Dang, this process a long time. Hurry up. Yeah, I do know I did that one yet. So what you said about, the middle of the damn
That's a new song, Agent.
What say you?
One of these. So brought to you by Ferrero Rocher. These are my favorite candies.
Really, like they
They
don't know
are
what
the
they
gold
are.
balls.
Did you see that episode or something on Facebook when they had like worms in it or something? It must have been old.
I have seen that. That's
It
why
wasn't
I
like
bite it
Vegas
first.
or something.
It was a Chinese man doing it.
I was like, oh, he just ruined this for me.
You don't eat them no more?
Yeah, I eat 'em.
Then she better eat them today because they ain't no stocking.
Oh, you got some gold balls too?
Because when I asked her, she's like, both of those sound good. So I was like, I guess I get these.
Oh no, she got a worm.
Is this shit ready to say play?
It's ready when you ready.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to hear that in the
What would
mic.
Chantel say?
I don't want to hear that in the mic. I
What
don't want to hear you crunching. I heard enough of you last week and picking your hands.
What am I doing?
Girl, you and that super glue and you and your agitation and deep sighing, I don't need to hear that. You
Because
chewing.
it took me a while to realize, like, what the fuck is this on my hand? Then I'm like, oh shit, I did super glue my mic stand. My mic sounds. Okay, go ahead. I ain't gonna talk till I finish chewing.
Okay. All right. All right, so we are back.
Yeah, Montu has worms in her stomach.
Oh, man, Watson. As usual, they're doing the most.
That candy.
I just don't understand why I selected the circle of friends that I have. You waited to Angel push play
Yes.
to even say that, but you the oldest.
Lie.
Grow up.
And we've already established that, like, many moons ago, many episodes
Hey, so
that I'm in.
I was thinking about it last night. Actually, I was just laying down thinking, like, we started this. We talked about it last December. Took a minute, but we got life in order in May. We did Facebook group, and what month was that? Like,
I'm a short term memory. Really
and she's only 50 already with short term memory issues. But
when did we record the first podcast? Like, what month?
that was Memorial Day weekend. We did it when we started it, but it wasn't right then because we had to figure out there was a disconnect.
Oh yeah, because my birthday had passed. Yeah.
So, but it had to be before Labor Day weekend.
My birthday had passed because I had
Yeah.
that 40 headband thing though.
Yeah, because remember when she was over here?
Go get dressed up.
Yeah, when she had her costume changes and was talking crazy.
It seems so much longer ago.
Yeah, it wasn't. But in between that time, like, Two and I figured out how to connect our pages, and like in a week, we had a lot of people to kind of join in. And like since then, like y'all keep the page going. I wake up in the morning, my notifications be lit because it's like
I love it.
girlfriend conversation, and like real talk.
I
It means
talked
a
to
lot.
some cool people in there, like, hey friend, or certain people post, and I make sure that I go read what they post because they post some profound and just some material that makes you think. Now some of y'all get out of pocket. I be wanting to delete half of it, like what? But we open the platform to be open to all opinions, thoughts,
But
and
mostly,
concerns.
I mean, you're gonna have in anything that you do, you're gonna have somebody that's gonna test the boundaries. But Facebook, be on it. I was like, wait.
Right. I seen them remove something before.
I was like, what happened? What did I miss? And I'm looking. I was like, but I couldn't even see it because it had already expired. So I was like, well, okay.
I saw
Facebook,
that lady
saw
sitting
it.
there in the middle of the street naked with no bra on, just titties swinging.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I guess.
Listen,
I guess I just as the person that I am, I'm just more like, and the page is majority African American. So I guess my thing is more like, why would you want to post content to not exploit, but just show another African American in a horrible light like that? You know what I mean? That's like back when it used to be, I guess, popular to spread fights. Kids meet up and fight, and now it's all shared all over. Like, I don't be understanding that. Like, why do you want the internet to view us this way? You know what I'm saying?
But I
Because
think that
media
goes
has a
back
strong
to your mindset though, because everybody don't have the even like with the fights and stuff. Like to me, I never cared to watch it. That's my
Mhm.
personal preference. But that doesn't mean that somebody else doesn't find that.
But I guess my thing is like, why?
I mean, that's a question that you have to ask that
Something
individual.
they doing, or
But then some people don't even think about it to that degree. It's just like, oh,
is
this something I saw? Well, let me share it. And it might be to see what somebody else think about it. And that clearly that's your opinion, that's how you feel about it, but that might not be the opinion of somebody else. So I think, I do think that sometimes you do need to kind of think about the things that you post, especially when it's not your personal platform. It's a platform that's present for you to share thoughts, but it's not your personal page where you can just toss out and throw out whatever it is that you want. And whatever comes back from it is what comes back from it. It is a community page. However, there are rules and regulations in place for a reason, because you don't want to offend somebody. Because how do you know that there's somebody looking for profoundment and they've heard this is what, somebody might have gotten from this group, and then the first post they see today is TNA all over the place. Like, that's not a representation of us at the end of the day. However, that's the first post that they saw in this group that's attached to us. So it's like, please be mindful, of what you're posting within the group page. Do what you want on yours because that's yours. But just be mindful of what you're posting when you're in a public group. I mean, I think that's fair, especially when you've read the rules, if you said you read the rules. So, and those who want to join, please make sure you read the rules and we can move forward from there. It's a couple of people that's waiting to get in or what have you, but
I guess I say no on that second question or something.
they don't say anything. So I guess, but see, what I don't know, what we were just talking about today is we don't know if you get to it. Is it only that way when you get an invite from, I guess, us, or if somebody else brings you in, do you have to go through that? I don't know, because groups that I want to be a part of, but I don't know because I found them on my own. I don't think I've ever had an actual.
I've been invited to a group and I've had to adhere to whatever rules, or like I'm in a conspiracy group and I had to write like a paragraph. Shut up! I told you that stuff is very interesting. I just because I do want whatever. I'm not crazy.
Okay.
But it is like, I don't think it's just because they was invited by somebody within the group. The rules and regulations are there for the group, no matter how you're invited. But my question to the group is, how do you? I guess I'm intrigued on how did you find out about Girlfriend Conversations outside of its original founders? You know what I mean? Like, we have people that's like California, Nebraska, Ohio, like who, how did you hear about that? Now, overseas, right? We're in like 4 different countries, and I appreciate it. I just want to know, like, how did the word spread? Because I mean, that's a powerful thing. If you like sit down and think about it, just like 6 girls came together, like we want to record us talking.
And
Like
see,
we
that's
would
like
normally
another
do.
aspect too. Wow, we really got to make sure that our page is in good taste, because you have people from different walks of life, and this not a trash stop. It's not like we can shoot shit talk, get all our giggles and stuff in, but then there's sometimes, majority of the time, it's some everyday real life conversational pieces that are posted.
It really
So
is.
it's like, I guess if you're looking for somewhere just to drop stuff off and leave out, then just maybe it's not for you or what have you. But we're not here just for you to lay down BS. Like,
I guess
some
my
substance.
suggestion would be, if you're new to the group, before you post, just kind of like get a feel for a couple of days to see the type of subject matter that's being presented, questions that's being asked, and when you begin to post, think about like, and what I'm getting ready to post is in line with this vision or what have you, because we do have a vision statement on there as well.
We do.
So, like Aja said, it's a group for anything. You want to be wrong, you want to be trash, you want to be... It's a group for everything. Girlfriend Conversations may not be that group. You're still welcome to stay, but if you want to post your raunchy, trashy, ratchet, degrading, what have you, trust me, I can spit off 1,000 of them. Other groups that welcome that, have at it, but
we trying to keep it clean over
here. I don't want it. Kind of bothers me, like if I invite somebody to the group and then they say, hey, I was in that group and this offended me. You know what I mean? And it's not like it's somebody else's opinion, because I can't control somebody else's opinion in the form of a conversation or dialogue that's going back and forth. But like if I look at it, like, yeah, that offended me too. You know what I mean? Because then it makes me think about, like, what about me and who created this makes you feel like what type of representation, or what did you see in me to make you think that I will align myself with this subject matter? I guess is what I'm trying to say.
But it's not that often. Like I said, it's more
It's
good, stuff, but it's some, what I'm saying? But for the most part, hey, like I said, we appreciate it. You keep me going. I don't never have a dull moment in my day. The phone will go off and I'm like, okay, oh, well, that was good. And sometimes it provides things for me to kind of think about, stuff that I wouldn't think about. And I like the fact that we get so many different opinions, and the dudes, like, y'all show up. You know what I'm saying? You show up, and I appreciate that, because it makes it not be so one-sided. Because that's the thing, I think a lot of people, oh, well, it's just girl talk, but it's not. Dudes talk about the same thing. The only difference is dudes that's talking about it. That's the only thing.
Right.
The context is the same. It's just the fact of who's speaking it out.
And that's what, like Corinna said, like, there's no way, like, as a woman, there's no way that I can, a single woman, progress. Not saying that the opinion of a man just trumps everything, but you need to know, like, I can't just keep talking to women about issues that I'm having, dating or what have you, because that conversation can be one-sided.
That was a big thing in the building. Like, people, well, why are you called Girlfriend Conversation? But that's the name of the podcast. It's not saying that this is a group for just girlfriends, or women. It's an open group to have open dialogue about things that men and women alike want to share.
The men, they talk just as much as the women.
Y'all listen, they show up, and I be waiting. Like, I love it, because I really want to know what they think, and I like the fact that they have a safe place, to lay this down, and they will ask, well, why is it, A, B, and C, and I like that. And I like the fact that women respond, and it's, 9 times out of 10, it's not a nasty, response back. Is really providing that conversational piece that's missing to get what it is that you're looking for, because sometimes we just assume all women's response is going to be this, or all men's response is going to be that, and I'm finding out it's really not like that.
Well, all married people gonna think this way. All single people gonna think this way. All people who children gonna think that way, and it's not. But I definitely don't want to be a part of anything that supports men bashing. I love me a man, especially a black one. So why are you looking at me like that?
I love me a black man.
I'm just saying, because like we had to fight that fight a lot when we began to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, reading is fundamental. Nowhere in here does it say, you know what I'm saying? Like, and Oh.
Again, your page is your page. Do whatever it is that you like on your page. But on this page, that's not what we're doing. I'm not saying you can't have an opinion. I'm not saying you can't post a question to start a conversation. But when people reply or respond, their thoughts we're not tolerating you coming back and bashing whatever it is they have to say because it's their opinion. It's their opinion. And if we see it, we'll address it, give you your nice little warning. And then for whatever reason, if you can't still seem to follow those rules, then we appreciate it. It was nice knowing you and good day. It's just that simple.
We ain't had that.
We ain't had it in a minute since the beginning, but I'm just saying, like, people tend to, one person actually had to leave on their own because they started a conversation they weren't prepared to have, and
y'all ran that person up out of there.
Y'all did. I was like, oh no. It was a long time ago.
It was still.
But the thing is, I get like inboxes like, yo, this person is blah 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 blah. Can you check blah blah blah? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Because there's so much stuff coming. So I'm having to go back and search. Like, what did I miss? So like, yo, people, they do run and tell the principals.
Listen, some stuff that as adults you can look at it and scroll on.
But I think it goes back to a lot of people know what's personal.
Very...
So it's like, what kind of people we are. So it's like you seeing this information out there, and it's more or less like, what did you see? Mm-hmm. That this is going on. So now I'm like, well, what was it? And they'll tell me, so then I'll go look it up. So let me see for myself, is it really, the way that you read it? And again, we're not going to see everything. There's only 3 sets of eyes that pretty much patrol this page. So, you're not going to see everything. So it's appreciated, but hey, I don't know. I don't know either.
Even with the controversy, I think there's been good friendships made within the controversy.
I've met a lot of people.
Because I've had some people like, who is such and such and such? And I'm like, I don't know. What's the issue? You know what I mean? And I was like, well, why don't you just, in the principal office, just talk it out? You know what I mean? They talk it out, and then next post, they're like best friends. I'm like, oh, so yesterday both of y'all was just in y'all feelings and y'all was fussing, but today y'all best friends.
And then if you read like text or whatever on a computer, your phone, you kind of read it like you think the person might say it, but they might not even mean it that way though. So you kind of be careful.
And then like Adrian said about that safe space, some people are really talking their heart. You know what I mean? So when they're coming in here, it's like their heart is on their sleeve. And then if they're showing themselves vulnerable, to have somebody tear you down in your vulnerability, I think that's where the anger and the lash comes from.
And especially with men, because I know that's not an easy thing to do. So like I said, I love it when they ask that question. And most of the time when you read it, it's real. It's something they want to know. They're really looking for, answers to whatever it is. So like I said, I love the fact that women take the time to really answer the question. Now some people want to get, they, whatever the situation may be, but for the most part, they do, like Keisha, she's one of the people that replies a lot. Lakeisha, like she's a friend that I met through one of my best friends, and Keisha is one of those people who genuinely answers, and she's answering.
Who was your best friend?
No, it's talking about Erica.
Oh, I'm talking about Kel.
Okay, that's not right.
I can talk about Erica if I want to.
You done named about 4 best friends.
Whatever.
I ain't know none of them.
Shut up. Everybody. Stop lying.
Right,
but she's the kind of person, Lakeisha Froome is the kind of person that she answers. Like, I love when I see her interaction with the guys because she's going to answer. She's one of those people who going to be real, upfront, and she's very comfortable with herself. And it's never mean. It's upfront, honest opinion, and it goes off well. I've seen her in threads and they just go back and forth, and it's never like messy or anything like that. And I love that. So thank you, Keisha.
Thank you, Keisha.
What was that thread when they went like 400 comments? It was about a girl.
Is that the one about the bride? No? Yeah?
No.
Pick A or B? Would pick this girl or this
No, that was when the girl got ran out.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's when the girl got ran out the group. But it was something else. Because it was a scenario. And the girl was like, the dude had said something. And everybody was commenting like, he da. I just can't remember.
Is this the one about the ring?
No, it was some time back. Not the ring one. there was some time back. I did not do nothing at work that day because I was
Listen, in the beginning, I was like, I can't keep up.
Right.
Because my thing is, I wanted you to be here, so I do my best to make sure that at some point I'm communicating on the post. I'm liking it. You know, because again, it's what we asked for. Like, we sent out these invites, so it's like I wanted you to be here. But like, yo, in the beginning, man, listen, I feel like I need to be on somebody's payroll because I know men too was up like, did you answer? Did you like it?
And one time, y'all was up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, like go
Like,
to
when they
sleep.
go to bed?
Like, when are y'all gonna go to sleep? I gotta
She
wake
did
up.
say, why don't they go to sleep? And I was like,
And I'm right
They
up
work
with you.
shifts. Different shifts.
Listen, but it was like, oh my God.
It's fun. I want to get to know y'all.
Yo, listen, we've
One
been
person
thinking
in
of ways.
particular.
Oh, here we go again. We've been trying to figure out ways to like kind of do like a
We're gonna rent out a
meet
movie
and greet. So
theater.
we have thought about renting out a movie theater and possibly.
Yeah.
Bucks.
Hmm?
Go ahead.
Well, yeah, because it's something we can do social distance wise. You know,
Did
you,
they have on Facebook? I don't know if y'all had saw where you can rent out
Yeah,
the movie.
$99.
They said,
Yeah.
cheaper than that. They still do it though.
so maybe we can try to
We'll
do
come with
something
the
like that. So we're working on something because
You
again,
bring
we
in
show
your
our
alcohol,
appreciation.
you saltier and give us flask. I'll have mine. A flask bracelet.
Oh dear God. Dear God. Yeah, so crazy. So overall 2020 has just been
A year to remember.
it is definitely a year to remember, a year of learning, life experiences,
Reflection.
definitely reflection, teaching you what matters most. I think that's my biggest takeaway is prioritizing what's important and what's not. For me, like I really think that was my big takeaway from 2020. What's yours too?
All right, so to see people for who they are.
Okay, Corinda.
Make a way out of no way. Spend your time wisely. Come up with new stuff to do or try to learn. You know, I didn't really learn anything new, but I still worked.
Okay then.
But I
So
wish I
smarty
could
pants.
have though, like learn something new. That's about it. Ready for a new year to be better for everybody.
For everybody.
everybody.
So again, we appreciate y'all. Keep it up. Check us out. Breaker, Google, Anchor, Spotify, Apple,
YouTube and hit
YouTube.
subscribe
Listen,
and like that bell.
listen. Girlfriend Conversation GFC. That's how you find us on YouTube. Subscribe. If there's anything y'all want to talk about, hear about, know about, do any activities.
Want me to know about you?
Any activities y'all want us to participate in, go
Chocolate.
live with, for real. Like,
Call.
hit us up, inbox, email,
Pretty
do your thing. Listen, we appreciate y'all.
thick.
All right, we'll talk to y'all later.
Eyes wide open.
We out. All right.
Oh, push stop, girl.
Please.
Please.